Okay, so I'm happy to see some friendly faces in the room. My name's Tom. I run Lenovo's server and storage business for the United Kingdom. So there are those of you who are going, I didn't realize Lenovo sold server and storage, because historically, I imagine you know Lenovo as a PC company. Client devices, tablets, even phones, believe it or not. We are the world's biggest PC manufacturer. So I joined last year, Lenovo, to start up this business in the UK. So my background prior to this, and where I know a few of you guys from, is I used to run Dell's enterprise sales business for the UK. So don't spit. I used to get beaten up every day by a direct sales force, my channel partners selling to their customers, and yet the same, I'd get beaten up by my channel partners for a direct sales force. So I get paid to tell you this. Lenovo, we are a massively growing organization in the enterprise space. No doubt you've probably heard of our impending acquisition of IBM's X series business. But believe it or not, Lenovo has historically been selling servers for quite a considerable period of time already. You'll see here, probably most relevant to you guys in the service providers, is Lenovo is already the #1 high-density compute provider in the Far East. Globally, we're already the sixth biggest server globally, without the IBM X Series acquisition. Now that is disproportionately skewed towards the Far East, as you may well imagine, but we're rapidly growing in the West as well. So, let me start with our positioning today. Our view is that every vendor has their own fantastic product, absolutely, and that's what you're here to learn about. How can it benefit your business? Our view is that x86 servers are a commodity. If I rip the badge off a Lenovo ThinkServer and position it next to an HP ProLiant, a Dell PowerEdge, ultimately the core components, the Intel chip, the RAM made by Smart, the disks made by Hitachi, they're all made by third-party manufacturers. Ultimately, it's then my job as an OEM to assemble them and get them to you. But my competition have come from multiple backgrounds and ultimately reached a point now where the standard x86 architecture is commoditized. And I understand this. I hope. Does anybody disagree that a 1U or 2U server, rack mount server, is a dramatically radical piece of technology, different to anyone else in the market? I don't think so. We understand that the way customers are consuming information, the way businesses are manipulating information is changing as well. You guys, you capitalize on this. This is what you do. Your business is relying on people migrating their services, their applications, their business to the cloud so that you can make profitability. So this is changing customers' buying patterns. Now luckily, or maybe in spite of, if a product is a commodity, isn't it a bit of a silly time for me to enter that market? Well, yet again, I'm paid by Lenovo, so I would say that the answer is no, because who else has proven that they can grow in a commodity space and still improve our strength as a business? Who else but Lenovo? If you look at our PC business, we have grown market share, we have grown our revenue in a market that has declined globally, and we will now do this again in the enterprise compute arena. Now, there are 4 things I need to make happen through my partner community in order to make that successful. So I need to make it, again, it's not specific to my product, I need to make it as easy to buy, if not easier, than what else is out there in the market. I need to make it easy, if not easier, for you guys to sell, whether it's as a service to be consumed or whether it's as physical infrastructure. I absolutely have to make it profitable for you. Yet again, both as traditional resale and by populating your own data centers, driving down both your OpEx costs and your CapEx. And then ultimately, I need to help you find incremental business. Those are my 4 basic things. So how am I going to do that? What's in it for me? So where do I innovate? And really, if it's not the product I can innovate on, or if the product is only part of that, it has to come from the solution. It has to be around the way I go to market. How can I differentiate myself to you? So, here are some things. Now you guys, you're actually going to get the sneak peek of what we've just announced today. You're probably aware Intel have just launched their new Grantley chipset. Their next generation of the Xeon processor has just been announced today. Lenovo today has announced our 5th generation of server technology. Woo! So, rather than take you through specific product, though, what does it mean to you? Yet again, back to how do I differentiate myself from you, make myself more relevant? So first of all, our next generation of server technology, our 5th gen server technology, launched today, will be best of class on thermal ratings in the market. We are continuously, we will allow continuous runtime at 45 degrees. Hey, great. So what does that mean for you? Cut down on your operational expenditure for your business on standard rack mount servers. If any of you work, I'm not saying that the MOD is buying a lot of Chinese servers these days, but if you are deploying in hostile environments, you can run it for longer in a hostile environment. Now, great, I can cut down your OpEx in that, but also, how do I go to market to help you populate your data center? So first of all, we run a cloud provider program, same as everyone else. Difference in our cloud provider program is that we do not have a direct route to market. Yet again, my relative immaturity as an enterprise vendor means I rely on my channel partner to go to market. I therefore am very, very flexible when it comes to the way I deal with you through distribution. So yet again, I'm able to do things like what's the cost of a configuration for your data center, because I know that today, if you want to, rather than you going back to renegotiate your cost every time back to your vendor because, hey, you need to buy some more servers, you need to buy some more storage to fill your data center, I can fix that price for you for 18 months. So you can model your own service provision costs over that period. I'm also, my sales teams, being relatively immature in the marketplace, they are opening doors in existing Lenovo customers who are buying both on-premise and off-premise. They have no route to market except through the channel. So we are driving opportunities back through our channel partners today. Those who are capable of giving us vertical coverage, application coverage, geographical coverage. Those are the partners that we are bringing opportunities to today. What else have we got for you? So probably you'll see why we're doing this on the next slide, but I think our technology today, if I go to market, will be best in class in terms of both storage density and I/O density. I will not have to sacrifice any storage in my servers to provide you with additional flexibility in I/O. And I think my competition will have to. On paper, it'll look fantastic, but I know that my next generation of server kit will be best in class from both storage and I/O. And you know what? I imagine a lot of you are going, oh, well, no, who cares? I sell SANs anyway, or I'm gonna deploy a storage area network. And this is where, yet again, us not being a legacy infrastructure vendor for storage pays off, because we think, hopefully my peers at Arista are like this as well, that the future is software defined for the data center. I don't have to carry on based scale up storage systems. My future, the way we think data center goes, will be software defined. Now, who's going to be in that ground? I don't really know. I think it's going to decide. Yeah. It's going to be SolidFire. It's going to be SolidFire, ladies and gents. So specifically for that market, now we have HCLs. We have support with. Obviously, we're working with Scale IO through Arrow today. We have support in the very near future for vSAN and looking at for their hyper-converged approach for that environment. At the end of the day, though, we are an engine for that kind of environment, and we are going out to market to say this is the way that we are approaching it in the future. So. Best-in-class storage, best-in-class thermal, driving net new customers towards your environment, best-in-class I/O. Now, what else are we doing aside from the technology? Great, some black boxes with some disk in. So you've seen what a server looks like. Now, what are we then doing differently around our commercial models? I've shown you the way we can fix a cost. I've shown you the way we can be flexible around financials. Now, also changing the way, like I said, we go back to making our servers easy to sell, if not easier to sell. The way the traditional markets worked is when you went to buy a rack mount server, you get it with a processor, you get it with a stick of RAM, and you get it with a power supply inside. Great. That's not functional. You can't do anything with that. The way my competition have built their businesses and profitability profiles is them forcing you to buy lots more options, like it's even an option that you have to put more RAM or disk in that in the first place. So Lenovo is making it easy to buy by building something we call a functionality pack. which will have an additional processor, additional RAM, additional twin solid-state disks, actually, and power supply. Everything you need to bring that up to a functional level to be a suitable virtualization platform for your data center. And we will include that in day one, free of charge. It's quite a significant investment from Lenovo. Pardon? You, strangely enough, while stocks last. No. Is it sustainable for me to do that a year from now when I'm selling 100,000 servers a quarter? Probably not. But for me to go to market with not just what I consider the best technical product, but also one that is so commercially compelling, is a very strong argument. At least that's what I think. So guys, we are releasing and we are shipping well ahead of the competition on the latest version of Xeon. We expect to have product in Arrow. Arrow will have stock of this the week after next, well ahead of our competition with IBM. My company, which will soon be IBM. So I'd appreciate the chance. I'll be out there on the little stand to come and have a chat, obviously, around the wider commercial piece, around how we're going to market together, and how we can drive incremental business back to you. But otherwise, thank you very much for your time.